My name is Julie, and I'm one of the marketing coordinators with BCIT School of Health Sciences. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this information session for the Electroneurophysiology program. First off, I want to say how happy we are to see you today, and thank you for attending our presentation. Second, you may post your questions or comments in the chat during the presentation, and we will address as many questions as we can near the end of the presentation. And third, please keep your microphone and video turned off until the end of the presentation to reduce connectivity issues and interruptions. That is greatly appreciated. Just before we get started, I wanted to mention that the British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam. I'm Julie, as I mentioned before. We have Basso, who is the faculty for the program, Maggie, who is a program advisor, and Darren, who is also a marketing coordinator with me. To our next slide, and I'm going to introduce Vaso Abradovic, who is our faculty and our main presenter for this evening.
Hello, my name is Vaso Abradovic. I'm one of the instructors in the program. Before we start with the detailed information about the program, let's watch the video that is recorded by the students from our program.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hi. My name is Keith Anderson, Bachelor of the Arts Technologist in Training. Are you a neuroscience nerd, a brainiac, crazy for the cranium? Then do we have a program for you?
In the Electroneurophysiology program here at BCIT, you'll be studying the central nervous system by learning how to perform electroencephalograms, or EEGs. You will not only receive lectures, but also hands-on experience and practice in your labs. You will also be studying the peripheral nervous system and learning how to perform nerve conduction studies. Because of its smaller class size, the program gives instructors the time to help you one-on-one whenever you need, whether it be with class projects or technique in the lab. The small class size also helps you bond with your classmates, so even though the program may be hard, you can always find ways to have fun.
Okay, as one of only 3 specialized programs of its kind in Canada, BCIT's Electroneurophysiology, or ENPY, grads are as sought after. Hospitals and healthcare clinics use trained technologists to operate sophisticated electrodiagnostic testing equipment while performing neurodiagnostic testing. As the only provider of ENPY training program in BC, BCIT plays an integral part in facilitating these processes. Let's just check some fun facts about electroneurophysiology. This field is not a new one by any means. Electrophysiology was developed toward the end of the 18th century with the famous experiment on muscle contraction in frog legs in 1791, Galvani introduced the idea that electricity was generated by nervous tissue. And that has become the cornerstone for today's neuroconduction testing. The EEG is not a new test either. In fact, Hans Berger, who lived in between 1873 and 1941, a German psychiatrist, recording the first human EEG in 1924. Our program is a mix of hands-on and didactic learning. It's a 24 months long program with an intake of 10 students annually. In first year, BCIT students learn and apply fundamental knowledge and theory, and this is followed by 4 weeks of clinical practicum in between semester 1 and 2. In year 2, there are 3 online seminar courses along with 40 weeks of clinical practicum. A total of 44 weeks of clinical practicum is provided to our students, approximately 35 hours per week. Students are distributed throughout the lower mainland in Canada. There are more than 11 clinical sites throughout the lower mainland and Vancouver Island. And each student gets 4 different sites during their clinical practicum. There are also many sites across the Canada. Our students going to all over the Canada, from Ontario, Quebec, Newfoundland, and other sites. In the past, we even had some sites in the US that our students did a practicum. About 50% of clinical practicum must be taken outside of the lower mainland. Job opportunities outlook. It's extremely optimistic outlook for graduates of ENPY program. More ENPY technologies are required in the field than they can produce every year. Currently, there are shortage of ENPY technologists in BC and across the country. All our graduates have easily found employment within just a few months. Some of them received job offers even before they finished with their program officially. Our graduates have become technologists, chief technologists, the department managers, instructors, researchers, equipment sales representatives, and program managers. Now I will be reviewing with you the entrance requirements and admission process, along with and a brief discussion of some key services that are offered to BCIT students. The program start next intake is January 2024, and application period is underway. It started January 2nd, 2023, and it is going to be through May 31st, 2023, when the first review is going to be conducted. And then the second application period is from June 1st, 2023 to August 31st, 2023, where the second review is going to be completed. This program, as I said earlier, is 2-year-long program with intake every year in January. Applicants to this program must either be residents of British Columbia or be sponsored under an interprovincial agreement. Application steps. Filing out the online application is relatively straightforward. Once application opens for each cycle, you can log in and review the online applications. You can work on filling out the application at your own pace. It doesn't have to go to admission until you, it doesn't go to admission until you pay the application fee. The date you apply doesn't have an impact on your application. You have until the application deadline date to submit your application. Regarding the application process, you will firstly review all entrance requirements and the application processing dates. You will then upgrade if necessary. BCIT does offer upgrading courses in many subjects. Program advising can assist you with this. Ensure that you apply online, that you have all of your required documents, such as transcripts, ready to scan and upload as PDF files. And you can visit www.bcit.ca/admission. That will guide you through step-by-step application process. Once you are ready to apply online, you can visit www.bcit.ca/apply, and the application fee for domestic student is 90 Canadian dollars. The application process takes place entirely online. Therefore, you will need to convert your official transcripts and any additional documents that may be required into PDF files. Now let's review the requirements. Required entrance requirements: proficiency in speaking and listening, 2 years of full education in English. Just go to next slide, please. 2 years of full time education in English and English speaking country or equivalent test or course. English course 12, 73% or equivalent. Pre-calculus 12, 67% or foundations of math 12, 73% or equivalent. And post-secondary education, BHSC 1200 or equivalent, human anatomy and physiology, and 6 credits of physics, Casper test, and mandatory applicant questionnaire. Preferred requirements will be given to applicants with academic grades above the minimum, additional post-secondary academic courses, and bachelor's degree. There are test course options for meeting entrance requirements. Please contact program advising for assistance. Physics courses must be at least 2 semesters and suitable for students studying health science, science, or engineering. Acceptable courses will cover basic mechanics in the first semester, leading into a section on waves, electricity, and magnetism, and basic circuit, and into second semester. The mandatory applicant questionnaire is your opportunity to highlight any non-academic experiences that you have and that will strengthen your application, as well to highlight your skills and abilities. Casper test is online test. The test will utilize everyday scenarios. A moral dilemma is presented to the test taker. There is no right or wrong answer, and you cannot really study for the test, as this is not knowledge-based test. However, there is a full 12 sections Casper sample test available online. You need to have registered for this Casper account to access this sample test. The test is free of charge to use. There is a lot of information on the Casper site to help you prepare for the exam. Please spend time reviewing this information. Transcript and documents. As mentioned, as a part of online application, you will need to upload documents for a timely assessment to be completed. You can download official digital transcripts of your, or you can convert your transcripts documents to PDF file. Information on how to convert documents to PDF files is available on our website. For example, you can scan or take picture of your official transcripts and save them as PDF files. Please ensure you upload all required documents to minimize delays in application process. And admission process. Admission reviews applicants to ensure requirements have been met. Then admission forwards complete applications to ENPY department. After application deadline date, ENPY department shortlists and selects applicants, and then admission sends acceptance letter and commitment fee of $500 is then paid for domestic students. And now, Julie is going to briefly discuss some key student services that are available to you at BCIT.
Thank you, Vaso. Sorry about the slide deck. There's something in my settings that is making it shift forward on a timer without me pressing anything.
Okay.
It keeps happening. So
It
I
goes
apologize.
live, so it's fine, I guess.
I apologize to everybody about that. Now, moving from the academics, I would like to let you know BCIT is committed to supporting students in a holistic sense. We want you to succeed not only in your academics, but also outside of school. Some of the student services are available to you as a prospective student, and others will be available to you once you become an enrolled student. Here are some of the important student supports I'd like to mention. If you are Indigenous, BCIT's Indigenous Initiatives Department is there for you to ensure a smooth transition into your first year. They offer peer-to-peer mentorship, a welcoming gathering place, and provide clarification on Indigenous funding. BCIT's awards, scholarships, and bursaries are listed on our financial aid and awards webpage. I would like to mention that we have a President's Entrance Award. Selection is based on academic achievement, but also volunteer and community service. Please contact financial aid directly for more information. BCIT Student Health Services is a health clinic located at the Burnaby campus. They provide medical care for current BCIT students year-round. We also have a counseling and student development department available to you to enhance your educational performance and maximize your success as a student. Our Rec Services Department promotes and encourages and enables the practice of physical well-being. We consider recreation an integral part of campus life and welcome all students to enjoy their services. Here, if you have any questions after today, I encourage you to contact and connect with Program Advising. They are available via telephone, email, Zoom. Go to their webpage. This whole entire slide deck, as well as a recording, will be sent to you via email next week. So you don't have to screenshot this or anything, but you'll get it in your email. And I would like to mention that if the inquiry is time sensitive, to please call for assistance. Here are some of our social media handles. We invite you to connect with us on socials, watch our YouTube videos, spend a day, or contact advising. And now I open the floor up if there's any questions or questions for us to answer. And just feel free to put that in the chat if you have any comments or questions. We'll give it a minute there.
Hi, my name is Sanjeev Atwal. I have a question.
Hi, yeah, go ahead, Sanjeev.
I have read, I'm pretty interested in this course, but the only thing is like, I haven't done, my grade 12 was in physics, chemistry, math, and it was not from here, it was from India. And I have done bachelor's degree and I have my nursing diploma from India. That's all from India.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think I still I can do the transcript thing and I can apply for this course, or do I have to go for the prerequisite courses from BCIT?
Yeah, so English won't be accepted from India because it's not considered an English-speaking country. So the English you would have to either redo or take like a competency test for listening and speaking, and then reading and writing.
Mm-hmm.
Math is at the high school level, like a grade 12 level. So on our BCIT website, we actually do have an equivalency guide for international high school. So you can view that. It is an alpha order by country name. So you can just look up India to see if your math that you did in high school would be considered equivalent to math, like the math we're asking for at the grade 12 level. Okay. And then the remaining entry requirements are post-secondary, so university or college level. And I will be honest, for the anatomy and physiology, we don't really see too often those courses from other countries being accepted. So that likely would be something you might want to consider upgrading. You can do our BHSC 1200. It's a 6-credit course through part-time studies. So that's something you could take at BCIT. And then physics, I'm not sure with your post-secondary if you did any physics at the post-secondary level, but if you did,
no, not at the post-secondary.
Oh,
level.
so then yeah, unfortunately, you will have to do that as well. Then yeah.
Okay. So all these,
go ahead, sorry.
Like this prerequisite is gonna take me a while to finish. So I still can apply for this course?
No, you have to meet the requirements first. So you're probably looking at January 2025 as your intake.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my main concern, because if I have to do all the prerequisites, then I don't think so I would be applying for January 2024.
Yeah, so aim for January 2025, but yeah, and then you can take your time with the prereqs, with the upgrade. You don't have to rush it, and you'll be well prepared for applying for the following intake. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for
No
answering.
problem. And Daniel's just asked, does Anatomy and Physiology 12 equivalent to BHSC 1200? And Daniel, no, it does not. Anatomy and Physiology 12 is a grade 12 high school level course, and our BHSC 1200 is post-secondary level. So that's a 6-credit post-secondary anatomy and physiology. So you can take that at BCIT or through another recognized post-secondary. You can definitely take the equivalency there. So that's fine. Hope that answered your question. Sorry, Sanjay, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry to bother you. If post-second, I have in my diploma of nursing, I did the anatomy physiology.
Yeah, so as I mentioned a few moments ago, those are typically not accepted from other countries. Again, you could propose it for assessment. So what you would need to do is get a detailed course outline of the course or courses that you did that are anatomy and physiology related from your studies, your post-secondary studies in India, along with your transcripts from the university or college. And you'd have to get that, if they're not already in English, translated to English, and send those through. It can be a bit challenging to go get on all that information, and often, like I mentioned, it typically isn't, to be honest, accepted from other countries. So it may just be worth doing the upgrading. But if you want to just see if you can get that assessed, that would be my recommendation to do that.
Okay, thank you.
And Jameson just asked, there's no applications in the fall. Why is that? I'm not sure what you mean, Jameson, but the program does just have one intake every year in January. So the next is January 2024, the next intake. Is that what you were asking, or I'm not sure? Sorry. If you want to maybe type that in again, or if I answered your question. Because Vaso, the program did recently change, didn't it, to January? It used to be
yes.
yeah.
This is second intake in January.
Right, yeah. So maybe, Jameson, that's what you were looking at previously. There used to be a different intake. It used to be every 2 years, I believe, in September, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah.
Yep.
So now it's changed, Jameson, to once a year, every January. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Okay, no problem. We answered your question. No problem.
We had another question about anatomy and physiology 12. Is that equivalent to BHSC 1200?
No, it is not. So again, that anatomy and physiology 12, anatomy and physiology 12 or / biology 12 is what it used to be called, is a high school, like a secondary level course, grade 12, whereas the course we're asking for this program is post-secondary, so like university or college. So it's essentially like a first year at the university level anatomy and physiology course. So it's higher than biology 12. So yeah, biology 12 likely is the prereq for one of these higher level courses, but yeah, biology 12 is not equivalent, or anatomy and physiology 12 is not equivalent to BHSC 1200. So, but you can do BHSC 1200 at BCIT. It's offered typically every term in flexible learning, and we do have 3 terms per school year for flexible learning. Excuse me. It's a first come, first serve registration type process to get into that course. I will say, though, it does fill extremely quickly because it is a program requirement rather for many of our health sciences programs. So do register, when the registration period opens, do register as early as you can. And do note it is a 6-credit course. So it's each term, but it's kind of like taking almost 3 courses in one term. So if you are going to plan to take our course through BCIT, I don't recommend taking any other courses along with that one. Just if you could take it on its own, I would recommend that because it is quite intensive.
Yeah. Another question that I have seen that we have BCIT has that challenge test for these particular courses. Do you think I can apply, like if I apply for those challenge courses, I would be considered?
Yeah, no, if you feel you have the equivalent knowledge or skill of all of our entrance requirements and you want to challenge it through a test, you can do that. There's a test available for the math, for the English, and also for the anatomy and physiology. So there,
yes,
yeah, so you can challenge, if you wish, all 3 of those. Yeah, that's possible.
It's for physics, math, and all. Like that's what I was thinking. I was like, if that was my main concern to join today's Q&A, because I was like, if my transcript doesn't work, then maybe I will just challenge those tests and apply for it.
Yeah, you could definitely do that, and you would need to score on those tests the same as what's noted for the actual course. So for example, for math, if you do a pre-calculus 12, a challenge test, which we offer at BCIT, you need to get 67% or greater. So that's just like an example of what you need. But yeah, Sanjeet, you could do that. That would be okay.
Okay. Thanks. Great.
No problem. Does anyone else have any more questions?
I think that might be it.
That might be it. Okay.
Really good, guys. That was some great questions and some really thorough answers.
Yeah.
So if there isn't anything else, I'd like to thank Basso for that wonderful presentation, and Maggie for attending and offering her insight on the advising portion, and Darren for helping on our tech side. Oh, we do have one more question. So the challenge test equivalent to BHC 12. The challenge test equivalent to BHSC 1200.
Oh, sorry, they're asking what the challenge test number is?
Or is it, the question is, so the challenge test equivalent to BHC 1200?
Yes, there is a challenge test yes, that is correct. So let me just, I can't offhand remember the number. Just give me one moment. 0, 0, is it? Oh yes, I found it. If you want to note this down, Daniel and Sanjeet, the challenge test is BHSC, so the same as the course, and the number is 0020. So you can check that out online. Now, I will say it covers basically an entire year of this course material. So I don't want to discourage anyone at all, but I just want to make you aware that this normally, if you took this course, is an extremely intensive course that's in one term at BCIT, but at most other colleges or universities, this course would actually be 2, sometimes even over 3 terms. So the test you could definitely take, but it is something that you really would need to prepare for or have the very current knowledge and skill, and study up ahead of time to prep for this test, because it is quite a challenging test from everything that I've heard about it. So just wanted to share that with you guys.
And with that, thank you for everybody for attending this presentation. I hope that it helped you along your journey, and feel free to reach out. Again, you'll be receiving the slide deck and a video link in your email within the next few days.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Julie. It was fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye.